Today, we're going to be talking about gambling. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a Coffeezilla video that I recently just finished watching, and I have to be in agreement about the whole premise of the video. If you haven't seen his video on the gambling epidemic right now, definitely check it out, because unlike other content creators or even our own country's administration, I think Coffeezilla is really putting a spotlight on the whole gambling, sports betting, and crypto side of society right now. That whole side of society has been so normalized and ingrained in every facet of our lives. I mean, just think about your own favorite podcast or any sports YouTubers that you watch or any sports show that you see on TV. It's always accompanied by sponsorships from FanDuel, sponsorships from DraftKings. I mean, when ESPN and I watched like their whole morning show stuff with Get Up and First Take, as they were talking about the whole gambling problems with Chauncey Billups or the Terry Rozier situation, the whole FBI casino illegal thing going on, ESPN literally had the ESPN Bet logo as they're talking about the problems and the epidemic with sports gambling in our sports world. With games like Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, and Roblox, you have loot crate systems, loot boxes still, indoctrinating young children into gambling and chance markets and speculative markets. And recently in some news with CSGO, that whole market where you have rare skins completely crashed in one update. And I don't know what it is. I feel like society just doesn't care. And it's because those few people that are in positions of power, like the administration, who have partaken in a lot of illegal scams like the Trump coin, you think they're gonna care? Those are gonna be the people that care about, oh, sports gambling is in every facet of our lives? No. In the video that Coffeezilla made, he also made a reference to even safe websites or safe investment sites like Robinhood, which is supposed to be used for investments into the stock market, are now introducing speculative markets into their platform. So no matter where you turn, video games, oh, stock investing websites, oh, my sports shows, you have sports betting, you have crypto marketing from the administration, you have loot crate systems, the gamification of everyday life, podcasters that you watch, the content creators sponsored by FanDuel or DraftKings or crypto gambling or the Kick website. I made one video about Aiden Ross and XQC, and they also play a part into this with the administration, who doesn't give a shit about the regulations when it comes to gambling or sports betting. But those content creators are being bought out by these huge gambling conglomerates. You think a startup like Kick can just give $100 million contract to XQC? My theory is obviously a platform like Kick, a startup streaming website, to be able to just give $100 million like that to a content creator like XQC, obviously some of that money or profits, in my opinion, has to be siphoned off from Stake, the parent company of Kick. But by technicality, Kick is a totally separate company from the Stake website, and they have their own business dealings, and you know, it's a loophole. In my opinion, it's a blatant loophole. And again, when you have an administration that does things like a Trump meme coin, they're not going to bat an eye to it. Matter of fact, who knows, they're probably getting lobbying money from websites like Stake or big casino companies, and nobody cares. And that's the point of me making this video after watching Coffeezilla's video, is that nobody cares about the gamification of our daily lives. And I feel like gambling addiction and gamblers specifically get treated or like tossed to the side even worse than drug addicts. I feel like people understand that drug addicts need treatment. There needs to be institutions to help these people, ingrain them back into society. But when it comes to gamblers, I feel like the whole attitude is, oh, it's on them. Like, yeah, sure, you have people like Kevin Hart, Post Malone, Drake, all these big time celebrities promoting gambling, but at the end of the day, it's the people's fault. But I feel like the people in the margins that are especially getting hurt by so much of this exposure to gambling, it wouldn't be a thing if there was little to no regulation about how much gambling and sports betting and crypto promotion there is on a daily basis. And it gets normalized, like I said, from a very young age. This whole generation growing up on Roblox and loot crate systems, who then, get introduced to sports betting and meme coins when they're older, over the age of 18 or 21. Overall, it's just not a good systemic thing that I see going on. And any content creator that tries to go against the grain and talk about this debauchery, the minute they do that and they have some sort of audience, boom, that's when they get offered like $200 million to like shut up about it. And matter of fact, promote the debauchery that is gambling. And I don't want to come across like I'm on my high horse either. I myself partake in sports betting a lot, actually, and I lose a lot. In terms of like the quantity, I'm not putting a bunch of money down, but it's fun. It's overall fun. And I'm not saying get rid of gambling altogether, but damn, every time I turn on the TV or every time I put on any podcast on, the sponsorships are always gambling related. I think we should have some sort of regulations, like when it comes to cigarettes. Like, you don't see that shit promoted all the time, but imagine if there were still commercials of cigarettes and it being promoted. I'm sure a lot more people in society would then be using cigarettes. People are malleable, right? Like, we all like to think that, like, individually, like, oh, we would never get fooled, or we would never get marketed to do something that we didn't want to do. But I'm kind of thinking about like the masses of people. Like, if you have a whole mass of people who are being indoctrinated to gambling or cigarettes or whatever the vice is, chances are there are going to be people in the margins who are going to partake in that. And that's why regulations need to happen. Gotta take a sip of my white monster. But yeah, I think we're reaching a point where gambling's just involved in every facet of our lives. And not enough content creators, I feel like, speak up about this. I feel like a lot of content creators are bought out, sell their soul to things like Kick or FanDuel or DraftKings. Like, even me at the size that I am now, and I'm making this claim going into the future as well, like, even as someone who does partake in sports betting, like, I myself would never take a sports betting gambling promo. I don't know. I just don't know what happened to efficacy or morals. Is that like just not a thing anymore? I feel like vices now are just so promoted. And not only that, but if a content creator is being sponsored by something questionable, they just hide under the fact, or their fans would just be like, oh, he's getting his bag though, he's getting his bag. But I don't know, do people not care about morals anymore? Or content creators, do they not care about that? And I do feel like people like Coffeezilla are one of the only people on the platform speaking out against gambling. And I definitely wish more content creators would speak out against it, because pretty soon, if things are on track to go the way that they're going, I just think it's going to get worse, and more people are going to get entrapped by gambling addiction because of all this promotion of gambling being pushed into your face, sponsorship after sponsorship, commercial after commercial. And I do feel like we're at a point now where it's like we need to do a full stop. In the video, Coffeezilla also mentioned cigarette companies. I genuinely do believe if cigarette companies were a thing in 2025, in this current administration, and the way content creators have no morals, it seems like, on the internet, I do feel like they would be doing cigarette ads, and like they wouldn't even think twice about the efficacy of that. And that's a really shit place to be in. I don't want to sound like I'm grandstanding, because I'm not trying to, but I think all of us can also acknowledge, like, hey, like, gambling's like really really in your face right now. From an early age all the way to all the content that you consume on the internet, on your phone, to when you turn on the TV. I mean, you can literally place a bet for anything. Recently, I've been getting a lot of, through the algorithm, I've been getting pushed a lot of political betting. Like, I didn't even know there was a thing till like a couple weeks ago, but as someone who's a New York resident, I've been getting a lot of like Polymarket ads and like some other platform called like Kalshi, something like that. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. But you can literally make a bet for like, oh, is the mayoral candidate gonna wear a blue tie, a red tie? How many times is he gonna mention this word? Is he gonna mention this person? And it's like, you can literally place a bet for anything when it comes to sports, politics, whatever. And I'm just like taking a step back, especially after watching the Coffeezilla video and going, wow, society's in a really fucked place right now. But I guess we'll see if the trend continues to get worse. I kind of just wanted to make a video to give props to that Coffeezilla video and a content creator who is very anti-gambling, and secondly, also put a spotlight and see where things go. A couple years ago, sports betting wasn't legal in all 50 states, and at the rate that we're going, it pretty much almost is, or is on pace to. Because, you know, if you're a big casino company, you could just give a big bag to a politician to fuck off, you know? I'm sure we'll circle back to this topic again, but yeah, it just sucks that gambling is such a staple in pop culture. It's such a staple in normal life. And I feel like, you know, 5 years ago, or like even 10 years ago, like if we were to just see this like cyberpunk-esque reality that we are living in now in 2025, we'd be like, that's crazy. But we don't have a serious administration. The content creators on all platforms seem to have no morals whatsoever. And perhaps things have to get really bad for actual change to happen. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about really briefly. Just keep an eye out on the things that I'm discussing, Coffeezilla's discussing. Because remember, every time you see some sort of DraftKings commercial ad, or every time you see the new content creator getting some crypto market deal, just know that the people that they're marketing to, there are going to be real lives that see these ads in marketing and lose everything they have because of it. And they probably won't get the help that they need to help them of this addiction, because gambling's just been so normalized. It's your fault. It's not all this push of gambling to the masses of people. So kind of a somber tone video, but it deserved to be called out. And until the next video, my name is Raf, your internet bro. Until the next video, I will see ya. As they were talking about